And now on TFM1, a news update from Table Football Monthly.
Table Football Monthly, all the way from Caston to Subbuteo. Table Football Monthly, pick a team 'cause we're set up and we're good to go. Yeah, we're good to go.
Interesting. Very interesting. Oh! Look at his face! Just look at his face!
You got to flip to kick, but make it quick before the chance is gone. Spin to win and knock it in before you know it, the game is won. A flick and a spin enough to win, and soon you're ready to show you're good to go. In the morning, you're good to go. In the morning, you're good to go.
Hello, and welcome to what we're going to call a Table Football Monthly January news video. We don't normally do these kind of things, but this is important, so we wanted to share it. Those of you who are familiar with Table Football Monthly may recall it was in July 2019 that a rather nervous Danielle, Smithy and me recorded our first ever edition. 27 editions have followed that over 2.5 years. We have given away over £1,000 worth of competition prizes. Numerous table football folk have been kind enough to give up their time and appear on the programme. But most impressive of all, from my viewpoint, our videos have been watched over 410,000 times by you, for which we are incredibly grateful and quite humbled. It's astonishing to consider we were aiming for 200 views when we released the first one. And over the time, we've covered some fantastic topics, both historical, new products, we've tested things, we've played games out, we've tested different player types, we've tested different footballs, different goals. And slowly, we have all got to know each other. Just so you know, I'm trying to hide the fact that I am freezing. There is no heating out here at all. This isn't even a mug of coffee or tea. I am being a 5-star old cacker. This is a nice warming cup of soup, you know. Yes, keeps one warm on the inside. Yeah. So, sorry about that. Leek and potato, just in case you're interested. Now, on the subject of us getting to know each other, see, I wouldn't be drinking cup of soup in front of people I didn't know. On the subject of getting to know each other, you may be aware, if you watched our Christmas edition, that we announced the launch of the Real Subbuteo Club, or as we're allowing anybody on the continent to pronounce it, the Real Subbuteo Club. The response to that has been overwhelming. We've had over 100 emails a week announcing interest, which is fantastic. Now, what that means going forward with TFM and the Real Subbuteo Club, that we think it's time to create our own little space on the internet. A ring-fenced island, free from YouTube and their careless smattering of ads. I'm not going to have a whinge, but they're now at the beginning of shows, randomly in the middle of shows, they're running along the bottom. It really is too much a case of them putting $1 before quality or care for contributors. So we want away from there, and we want somewhere free from keyboard warriors and all those people who just suck the very soul out of you on the open internet. So we are moving TFM and introducing the Real Subbuteo Club to Patreon with effect from the next edition. Firstly, calm yourselves. This is not an underhand, cunning attempt by your old mucker Keith to fleece you out of your hard-earned cash. Patreon does bring security, it brings ring fencing, and it keeps all the things we don't want away. But it does come as a cost. So let me explain how that's going to work. TFM will have two elements. TFM, the monthly programme, and the Real Subbuteo Club. So we'll look at TFM first. On the face of it, not too much is going to change. There will be a monthly 1-hour edition. But in addition to that, There will be a series of specials. There will be both 1 hours of our 2-part history of tabletop years. They'll be uploaded later this week. You'll have those. And then most exciting, certainly for me, is I'm going back through the whole of the TFM archive to separate elements of tutorials, player types, goals, pitches, balls, match recreations, product reviews, and putting them all into separate editions. So if you're interested in any particular aspect of one thing or another, or you've just suddenly decided you want to do a comparison with player types, you'll be able to find that particular edition much more easily. It should be an easy thing to navigate. So for that, there will be a fee of £1 a month. But the groovy thing is if you don't like the January edition, you can drop out. So you don't have to keep a recurring payment. If on the other hand, by March, you're missing us again, you can hop back in again. So it's totally controllable. No one's fleecing you. And to be fair, I think for what you'll be getting, £1 ain't all bad. Now that £1 isn't for my pension. The £1 will be used for part 2, which is the Real Subbuteo Club. Now I know in my mind exactly what I want this club to be. I want it to be friendly. I want it to be fair-minded. I want it to be enjoyable, and I want it to be absolutely inclusive. Men, women, enthusiastic players, amateur players, people who don't even play but just want to belong and have some fun. So to that end, it's going to be slightly different in its makeup. Physically, it'll have 2 elements. One will be, there will be one big buy, sell, swap, exchange meet for members only at a location centrally in the country that we can all get to, where we can all get together, buy, sell and swap, talk about the different bits and pieces, have a few layouts to have a look at, and just generally hang out. And we're going to do that in a nice location with catering and really try and get a family feel happening so that, heaven forbid, you might even bring the whole family with you. The second element is playing. Now for this club, I want this to be about as gentlemanly as a club can be. So we're going to be different to the English Subbuteo Association, to FISTF, to WASPA. There will be no player rankings. There will be no players. This is how this is going to work. If we get enough members, we're going to set up a few divisions, and we will supply all of the equipment, including the teams. Not that I'm suggesting there are any ne'er-do-wells around, but this will mean everybody's got equipment that is the same. There'll be no sneaky polishing, no fiddling with weights and all the rest of it. So when you join, and if you wish to play in the tournament, you select a team and you will be given a home and away kit on the day. And you play your games as that team. So in essence, although you'll be playing the game, you're technically the manager and the coach. So all the results will be represented as the teams, not the individual, and the promotion and relegation will be as teams, again, not as individuals. This should stop things getting personal and stop any falling out. There will be trophies for division winners. There will be fair play awards for each division as well. And again, we'll find locations that are central, and I hope we should be able to have a laugh with that. It'll be played as original Subbuteo, rules out of the box, with original equipment, and I hope it should be thoroughly entertaining and ideal for people who haven't gone anywhere near a tournament before. In addition to that, to one side, there will be a practice and chat area, which is where I'll be, where we'll have a few layouts for people who are less familiar, not too keen on diving straight into a tournament, or who want to just feel their way in, can come and hang out, have a bit of a practice, get a tutorial if they want one, and just generally sit around and enjoy yourselves. Now, the Real Subbuteo Club will also have its own monthly video magazine. This will be dedicated to members. It won't be available on the TFM site. It won't be available on YouTube. It'll just be on Patreon for the club. and that will have information about the get-togethers. We'll do reviews, we'll be looking at old bits and pieces, doing some of the historical stuff that I enjoy doing, and I know many of you have written in and said you enjoy as well. So the Real Subbuteo Club will also be £1 a month. I'm keeping everything as inexpensive as I can. But with the club, it'd be nice if you didn't opt out, because I don't want to charge people £12 a year for membership, because in this current day and age, every penny counts. So by paying £1 a month through the year, it'll add up to 12. So what I'm going to do is I'll front the money to make it all happen. So if you do join, please do try and commit to paying £1 a month for a year. Right, I hope that is clear. Now here's the thing, because this isn't an association, there is no committee, this is us, all of us, and I want everything done on consensus. So if you've got any questions about the TFM site or about the Real Subbuteo Club, do get in touch. I've done this now so we can have a week to get a consensus amongst all of us as to how we're going to proceed before I hit the big red button. So if you're on our Table Football Monthly Facebook group, you can just write in on the comments underneath and ask any questions, make any comments you want to. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're not a member of our Table Football Monthly Facebook group, then drop me an email at this address. Do it quick, because I will answer everyone in the next week. However long it takes, I will answer everybody's questions, concerns, or anything else, so that in a week's time, I'll have an idea about how you all feel about it. From TFM's viewpoint, we have to go on to Patreon come what may. We will put out videos on YouTube each month, but they'll be shortened versions. They won't be the full-length version. We won't be doing the competitions anymore on YouTube. They'll be for the Patreon viewers only, because we are giving away increasingly expensive prizes. So get in touch, see what you think. I've got a feeling this could be a momentous 2022 for table football, and we've got a chance to do it in our own bubble without getting messed around by corporations or those kind of individuals who just like to cause mischief. So if you want to do it, let's do it. And thank you very much for watching. Ha ha! You thought you'd got rid of me, but no, I'm hanging around like a bad smell. I just wanted, before I go, to give you a heads up for the January edition, because I think it's going to prove conclusively everything I've said about the potential excitement for Subbuteo in 2022. After last month's Christmas edition, many of you asked if we would do a segment on stadia and dioramas. Well, of course, here at TFM, we are here to serve. To that end, we have spent upwards of £900 to bring something into the studio that I believe is going to blow your faces off when you see it. I'm so excited, I want to tell you now, but I won't, because it'll ruin the excitement. But it really is going to be one of the coolest things we've brought in here, I think, since day one. So join us if you can for that. It is going to be rather spectacular and kick off this year perfectly. Right, that's it. We're not going to go out with music and credits because it's just been me rattling on and my cup of soup. But what I will do is I'll put up a page of bullet points that cover all the stuff we were discussing earlier. So that's it. Thanks again for being generous enough to share your time with me. I hope your new year has started off well and that you are in good health. I will hopefully see you in January. Take care. Bye-bye.
Football Monthly, all the way from